welcome to today's show all about goal setting. Now, if you've been in the direct selling industry for any semi meaningful amount of time, you've probably had a lot of training on goal setting. My guess is that you've definitely heard of SMART goals, which are SMART, which is just an acronym for how to set goal, measurable, achievable, all the SMART goals. But today, I want to give you some extra tools for your goal setting practices that go beyond SMART goals and really peeling back the layers of goal setting so that you can be more successful at not only setting those goals, but getting those goals and achieving those goals at the end. So today, I'm going to share with you a little bit of what I've been studying, my own personal development study lately. And it all started with a road trip to a basketball tournament a weekend or two ago. And I had my son, Easton, who is 12 years old, and I had a captive audience, right? You have a captive audience in the car, and I had an opportunity to turn on something really, really good, something that I'd been listening to. And I thought, why wouldn't I take this 2-hour car ride and turn this on and let my son experience a little bit of the Jim Rohn magic, right? If you've never heard of Jim Rohn before, I highly, highly recommend you just head over to YouTube. Head over to YouTube and just type in Jim Rohn, and then any topic, mindset, goal setting, business related topic that you want to learn about. And I promise you, tons of videos will come up. He is an absolute legend. He has since passed away, but his teaching and his philosophy on business and personal development has really stood the test of time. He made personal development cool. He started these personal development seminars long ago. And I'm super, super grateful for not only his books, but his seminars, which I will sit and listen to. So Jim Rohn made personal development cool before it was even technically cool. And in my opinion, he's right up there with the Og Mandinos of the world, the Dale Carnegies, the Napoleon Hills. And so if you're a student of personal development at all, you're going to know exactly who those guys are. And that's where I put Jim Rohn. So don't forget to go look him up, study him. But today we're going to learn a little bit about what he taught people about goal setting. Okay. So, quote from Jim Rohn: if you don't design your own life plan, chances are you'll fall into someone else's plan. And guess what they have planned for you? Any guesses? Not much. Okay, so not much. You are the designer, the author of your own life. Okay, so other people are not going to have anything planned for you, right? And so make sure that when you're making your goals, you're planning it out. You have to be the designer of your own life. So he believed that goals give our lives really that direction and purpose. And goal setting is like having a destination on a plane ticket. Imagine going up to a ticketing counter at the airport and just saying to the ticketing agent, "Hello, yes, my name's Amanda, and I'd like a plane ride, please." And the agent says to me, "Well, where would you like to go?" And you look at her and you're like, "I don't know, somewhere nice," right? Of course, she's going to look at you like you're crazy, and you're not going to get anywhere. She's not going to be able to even get you a ticket out the door onto an airplane if you cannot tell her where you want to go. It's also like, picture a sailboat just at the mercy of the wind, just floating around. Have you ever felt like a sailboat out in the sea, just sort of going wherever the wind blows you that day, trying to stay afloat and just not sink? Now, as a mom of 5, I've definitely found myself in that situation before where, man, today's a crazy day. I'm just trying to not sink, right? And everybody's going to have days like that. But if you can focus in on your sales, on guiding those sales, on a clear destination, like you're telling the ticketing agent where you're trying to go, you are going to have a lot better time setting your goals. All right. So 5 key elements, if you're taking notes, of goal setting. I'm going to share with you how to set goals. And to start, I want to share with you a clip of Jim Rohn himself. Okay, so you can actually listen to the way he talks. You can get a little appetizer, if you will, for his energy and his philosophy. And then we're going to talk about the 5 things. So let me go ahead and share my screen here.
Setting goals. Let me show you something to turn me every way but loose. I've never been the same since I found out about it. Learning how to set goals. Not long after I met Mr. Shelf, we're having breakfast one morning. Mr. Shelf said, Mr. Rohn, now that we've gotten acquainted, we know each other fairly well, he said, maybe one of the best ways I can help you, he said, let me see your current list of goals. Let's go over them and talk about it. And I said, what? I don't have a list. He said, well, Mr. Rohn, if you don't have a list of your goals, he said, I can guess your bank balance within a few $100s, which he did. And that got my attention. I said, you mean my bank balance would change if I had a list of goals? He said, drastically. So that day I became a student of setting goals. And I've used it to dynamically affect my life. I've taught it to some of my business colleagues. We use it to do business around the world. Setting goals. It can turn out to be a drama for your life. Here's what goals are. Your vision of the future. Your vision of the future. Now, there's 2 ways to face the future. 1, with apprehension. Number 2, with anticipation. Guess how most people face the future? With apprehension. Why? Major reason why. They don't have it well designed. They've left the design of their future to somebody else. And if you don't make plans of your own, guess what? You'll probably fall into someone else's plans. Guess what someone else may have planned for you? Not much. All of your negative relatives all turn positive. What will that do for your future? Not much. If prices come down a little, what will that do for your future? Not much. If the economy gets a little better, what will that do for your future? Not much. If circumstances get a little better, what will that do? Not much. If the weather gets a little better over the next few years, that'll do. Not much. I mean, you could go right down this whole scenario list. Most people all their lives, with their fingers crossed, count on this not much list. That's why 10 years from now, they'll be driving what they don't want to drive, living where they don't want to live, wearing what they don't want to wear, doing what they don't want to do, having what they don't want to have, maybe become what they didn't want to become. And it all starts by counting on something that's not going to count much. You say, well, then how can my life dramatically change? You got to count on yourself. And here's one of the things you got to count on, your ability to design the future. It's called the promise. And the promise of the future, if you'll design it well, can have an awesome effect on your life. But if you face the future with apprehension, you'll take hesitant steps all day, uncertain steps all day. And if you take uncertain steps all day for 6 years, you can imagine how empty your life can be. We got to help our kids with the promise of the future. Now, here's what's connected to the promise, the price to pay. But I'm telling you, the price is easy if the promise is clear. One of the better notes to make for today. The price is easy if the promise is clear and powerful. But the price seems almost too much to pay, too much to get over, too much to accomplish if the promise isn't clear, if the promise isn't powerful. I'm telling you, kids will pay the disciplines if they can see the promise. One of our biggest challenges as parents in the 90s is to help our kids see the promise of the future. That's why I'm teaching financial independence. How to become wealthy and powerful and sophisticated and healthy and unique. All of the stuff kids would hope to go for. It's all possible. This is America. That's the promise of the future. The price, a few simple disciplines practiced every day. And I'm telling you, the kids will pay the price of the simple disciplines if they can see the promise of the future. But if they can't see, they don't want to pay. And the same is true of all of us. We will pay the most extraordinary disciplines if we can see the promise of the future, called setting goals.
So, how awesome is that? I hope you love that 4.5 minute clip. We will pay the price, we will make the sacrifices if the promise is clear. What's the promise? The promise is the destination. The promise is what you tell the ticketing agent where you want to go, right? So, I have a quick little story about this. When I very first started 10 years ago in direct selling, I made myself a vision board. And I had a mentor who encouraged me to do that. And I remember I put it right up here in my office on a poster board where I printed out and cut out pictures of things that I wanted to do and things that I wanted to accomplish. A few of those things included traveling to a really cool place I wanted to go. I wanted to be able to donate a meaningful amount to philanthropic organizations that were important to me. I wanted to take my family on a special trip. I wanted to have a home in the mountains to retreat to and to enjoy memories with my family. I had all these things on this vision board. And I am so excited to report to you that here I am 10 years and several vision boards later, and I've been able, thanks to setting clear goals and taking action on those goals, I've been able to accomplish everything I've ever put on a vision board. And I'm currently working on a new vision board. And so here's a few things that you can do as you are considering how to make your goals. 5 specific steps. Number 1 is to set clear, specific goals. They must be specific and measurable. You can't just say, I want to be successful. You have to be able to define what success means to you. And it might not always be a financial success. Maybe you want to have a successful marriage. Maybe you want to be successful in your spiritual growth in your journey. What kind of success are you looking for? If it is financial success, let's say, how much money does that mean to you? If you want to make 6 figures a year, I want to make $100,000 in a year. Break that down into every single month. What does that look like that you would need to be making in order to, at the end, reach your goal every month? All right. So you want to be able to measure and back engineer that, and you need to write those goals down. You need to put pen to paper. Remember the story about Mr. Schoaf and Jim Rohn when Mr. Schoaf asked, where's your goals list? And he's like, I don't have one. And then Mr. Schoaf was like, well, you're probably pretty broke. And Jim Rohn was like, yeah, I sure am. He went from making pennies as a young father with no direction in his life to becoming a millionaire by age 31, thanks to the mentorship of, in large part, one of his business mentors, Mr. Schoaf, who he refers to often. So step 1, set clear, specific goals. Make sure that they're measurable and write them down. Take pen to paper. I don't mean print it out on a pretty graphic on your computer and then shut your computer down every day. I mean, write it down physically and put it somewhere where you can see it, on your bathroom mirror, on your office wall. I was working towards a really big deal goal the other day, actually a couple months ago, and I can talk more about this, but generally, I wanted as many people to know as possible because that was helping me stay really accountable. So guess where I put my goal? I put my goal list downstairs in our dining room, which is literally right in the middle of my house. I wanted my husband, I wanted my kids, I wanted any guests who came by to see that I had covered my dining room wall in sticky notes, which all were labeled $500, $500, $500. And as my organization chipped away at that $500, we had like a $37,000 group goal. I pulled off the sticky notes, and every sticky note I pulled off, everybody in the whole family was able to see, oh, good job, Mom. You did it. You did another sticky note. I pull it off. Look, everybody, I pulled off 3 more, right? The team's cranking. We're cranking. I just got another order. So exciting, right? So you want to be able to have something physical that you can see, that you can write down, okay? Number 2, have a strong why. When the why gets stronger, or in this case, when the premise is clearer, right? The destination is clearer, The how gets easier. That's also Jim Rohn. Let me ask you this. What if you said to the ticketing agent, I want to go someplace nice? And she says, well, Bali's pretty nice. Would you take her at her word for it? Or would you just say, would you want to see a picture? Have you ever looked at a travel brochure, a travel blog, a travel Instagram, looked at pictures of where you want to go to get a better idea? I was planning a trip for our family spring break trip just last night, and I was thinking, where are we going to eat dinner on the very first night we arrive? We have time to eat somewhere good before we go out night sightseeing in Paris, of all places. So exciting. And guess what all I wanted to do? I didn't want to go read the menu. I didn't want to look up the restaurant's website. I wanted to go straight to their Instagram because I wanted to see pictures of the food. I want to see pictures of the food. What kind of food do they have there? How does it look? Does it look delicious? Does it look good? Right? And so make sure that the picture is clear because that's going to help your why be really, really strong. Get really, really clear. What does it look like? What does it taste like? What does it feel like to go to these places or to reach these goals? Okay? It should be deeply personal. Why do you want it? If your why is strong enough, you will stay motivated even when things get tough. And they always, always will get tough. No question. You're going to have days in direct selling or in whatever job that you do that you're just going to be like, I hate this job. It's the worst job ever. Why do I do this? I want to quit. Every job is like that. I don't care if you're an accountant, a lawyer, a painter, a hairstylist, teachers. Every teacher has those days where their class drives them completely bananas up the wall, right? A mom, maybe you're a stay-at-home mom like me, and you're just like, there's just too many children and my efforts are useless against them. If you've ever felt like that as a mom, I'm sure that you have. You just have days where you just want to like hit the easy button. And so you have to have a really strong why so that you can weather through, and clarity adds strength to your why. So get really, really clear on that. Peel back the layers why you want those things. I said earlier, one of the things that I wanted was a mountain house up in the mountains, in the Rocky Mountains. Well, cool. It's a house. Why do you want a house? Think about the things that come to mind for you first when you think about the stuff that you might put on a board. Why do you want that thing? Peel back the layers. 3, 4, 5. There's a really cool author out there called Dean Graziosi, and he talks about the 7 layers of why. And it's basically the principle is you peel back the layers. Why do you want the house? Because it's beautiful. I like spending time in the mountains. Well, where do you like spending time in the mountains? Because I feel at peace and I want that time with my family to be able to connect and make memories. Why do you want to connect and make memories with your family? Because I love my family and I want to create lasting, meaningful memories with them, right? And so it almost always comes back to love. Actually, it's really cool to do this exercise with people, but make sure that you're strong why, you peel back the layers a bit and you really dive in to why you want the stuff that you want. And if you can connect it really intrinsically to feelings, to love, to clarity, to peace, to prosperity, all the things that you want that are actually going to be stronger than the fear that's going to prevent you from taking action, you're going to be in great shape. Okay, number 3. Set different types of goals. This isn't something that you're going to get with a SMART goals training. This is really, really cool. Your life is about more than just business, okay? You have to live your life and enjoy your life. And so I want to encourage you to set different types of goals. Set personal development goals, okay? I told you I had a personal development goal to study the works of Jim Rohn. Recently, I kind of am going through my Jim Rohn era. Okay. So I had a goal to listen to one of his seminars. Okay. I have financial goals. We already talked about that. Save $10,000. Increase my income by 20%. Reduce my wasteful spending. I go out to eat too much or whatever it might be. Okay. Financial goals. Have health goals. Exercise 5 times a week. drink more water, quit smoking, drink less alcohol. Okay. I don't know what kind of physical goals, exercise goals you can have, but you have to take care of your body. And with that comes your lifestyle. So you can go live your life. What do you want to do in your life? Do you want to get a boat so you can go water skiing? Do you want to be able to travel? Do you want to be able to sleep till you're done sleeping at the end of the day? And not have to wake up at 5 a.m. What kind of lifestyle do you want and why? Okay, buy a home, buy a vacation home, right? This will ensure, okay, balance and fulfillment in your life because you can't just be a slave to financial goals or to business goals and then let everything else in your life slide because you'll be an incredibly unhappy person. So try and round those goals out. And finally, I want to add, this is one of my personal ones that I just added in here, benevolence goals. I told you I had a goal to be able to donate a meaningful amount to a local organization that I thought was doing some really great work. Well, I didn't have the money to do that at the time. And I wanted to be one of those people that could write a check when the organization really, really needed it. I'm pleased to report that I'm able to do that now. And it's all thanks to the direct sales industry and entrepreneurship and developing these goal setting skills. What do you want to give? How do you want to bless the lives of other people? How do you want to make an impact in your community, whether it's with your neighbors or in the world, right? So to review, personal development, financial, health, lifestyle, and benevolence goals, okay? That will create a beautiful, you could even have spiritual goals in there too. Okay, that should probably be in there. All right, 2 more. All right, number 4, create an action plan. Goals without a plan are just dreams. Okay, what? That's a good nugget. That is a great nugget right there. Goals without a plan are just dreams. So Jim Rohn taught the power of small disciplines, breaking big goals into small disciplines and daily habits to help you achieve those. So example, if your goal is to write a book in a year, break it down. 1,000 words a day, 200 words a day, whatever you want. Okay. Maybe you have an action-based goal. Okay. And it's, I want to make a 52 podcasts for a year. What is that going to look like? It's going to be a podcast a week for a year. And if I miss a week, I'm going to be behind schedule on my goal. That's one of my goals right here. I want to have a podcast a week for this year, for 2025. So back engineer your goals and have a plan, because without a plan, they're just dreams. Okay. 5, finally, track your progress and adjust. Quote, this is another amazing, amazing nugget. Super powerful to think about. He says, discipline is the bridge between goals and accomplishment. I'm going to say that one more time. Discipline is the bridge between goals and accomplishment. You have to have the discipline to take the steps to walk over the bridge, to climb the mountain, to put your shoes on, lace up, and hike your way to your destination. It is going to be hard. You are going to be hot, sweaty, dirty, thirsty, hungry, frustrated, lost. You might get lost on the trail. Thank goodness we have mentors in our lives. Highly recommend find a mentor if you don't have one yet. Okay. Or lean into your mentors if you're currently not taking advantage of mentorship that's available to you. Okay. The bridge, I want you to picture, if you have your goals on the wall, I want you to picture yourself literally walking on a bridge across to those goals. What does each step on that bridge, every board on the bridge has something else on it. It's going to have the action that you need to take to get across the bridge every step of the way. Okay. Don't avoid the bridge. Don't avoid the discipline because it's hard, because without it, you're never going to get there. You cannot get across. All right. So how do we stay more accountable? What do we do about this bridge? How do we get across this bridge? How do we use discipline effectively? Challenges are part of the process. Expect setbacks, but don't let them derail you. Accountability matters. Okay. Remember how I said I had my sticky notes? This was so important, and I was so out of time to make this goal happen. It was a time-sensitive goal. I was like, man, I need all the help I can get. I need as many people to help keep me accountable as possible. So I moved my goal sheet downstairs to literally the middle of my house. And I went farther than that, guys. I put it on the internet. I kept my Instagram stories live and current almost hourly every time I made a dent in that. And guess what? People got really invested in that. Oh my gosh, I hope you reach your goal. Oh, that's so exciting. Good job. Right? And now I had myself, my family, my friends on the interwebs, everybody's watching now. And guess what? Accountability is pretty magical when it comes to keeping you disciplined. So make sure and tell the world, tell someone, at least tell a mentor who can help keep you accountable to help you get closer to your goals. All right. Now, in closing, we're almost finished here. Want to add one more quote. Success is not something you pursue. It's something you attract by the person you become. How cool is that? Attraction marketing is something that we learn a lot about in the marketing industry, but truly attracting others to you by being disciplined, by having goals, by having that go-getter energy, is going to bring more people into your business. It's going to bring more customers into your business. Showing up for yourself is one of the most valuable things that you can do. So take 10 minutes a day and write down at least 5 or 6 key goals, and then start with a plan. The best time to set goals was yesterday. But the second best time to set goals is today. So start now. Now, speaking about now, all right, that, by the way, was Jim Rohn again. I can't take all the credit, you know. I want to read you a short excerpt out of one of my favorite books, The Greatest Salesman in the World. And it's a fictional story, a parable. I highly recommend picking it up. At the end, there are these 10 scrolls, which are like the secret to success in life. And this salesman, a peddler in a marketplace, is blessed with these scrolls, the gift of these scrolls and the knowledge contained therein. And he goes through and he reads all the secrets to success. And this is essentially the 9th secret. Okay, I'm going to read you a little bit from the scroll marked 9. That's how they refer to it. And this is what it says. It says, my dreams are worthless. My plans are dust. My goals are impossible. All are of no value unless they are followed by action. I will act now. That's basically the scroll mark 9 in short. I will act now. And I've got it all annotated, marked up and stuff. I absolutely love this book. I've read it so many times. Okay, it continues. Never has there been a map, however carefully executed to detail and scale, which carried its owner over even 1 inch of ground. What? That's so powerful. I'm going to read that one more time. Never has there been a map, however carefully executed to detail and scale, which carried its owner over even 1 inch of ground. Your vision can be crystal clear, guys. Your board can be beautiful and aesthetic and huge and right in the middle of your house. But guys, all the vision, all the clarity, all the plans in the world will not get you there. It is action that will actually carry you over that ground that you need to cover. Will carry you over the discipline bridge, right? All right. It continues. Never has there been a parchment of law, however fair, which prevented one crime. Never has there been a scroll, even such as the one I hold, which earned so much as a penny or produced a single word of acclamation. Action alone is the tinder which ignites the map, the parchment, this scroll, my dreams, my plans, my goals, into a living force. Action is the food and drink which will nourish my success. I will act now. You could probably write that on your goals, on your vision board somewhere, on your goal sheet. I will act now at the top, really big. My procrastination, which has held me back, was born of fear. And now I recognize this secret mind from the depths of all courageous hearts. Now I know that to conquer fear, I must always act without hesitation, and the flutters in my heart will vanish. Now I know that action reduces the lion of terror to an ant of equanimity. I will act now. Henceforth, I will remember the lesson of the firefly, who gives its light only when it is on the wing, only when it is in action. I will become a firefly, and even in the day, my glow will be seen in spite of the sun. Let others be as butterflies who preen their wings, yet depend on the charity of a flower for life. I will be as a firefly, and my light will brighten the world. I will act now. Now, of course, this scroll continues for 3 more pages. I really, really want to encourage you to pick up a copy of The Greatest Salesman in the World, to look up some of Jim Rohn's incredible seminars. It's going to definitely leave you better than the day that you found them. And I hope you got value out of today's training, today's 5 steps to setting better goals. And remember, the best time to set goals was yesterday, today, but the second best time is today. Thanks for joining, and I'll see you next time.